Okay, we are live. Another special emergency broadcast, this time scheduled for 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time here in the USA. I'm a little bit early. We've got about a 3-minute pregame show. Rather be early than late. This is a follow-up on yesterday's show. What would you do? Would you buy one Rolex Daytona in 18 karat gold? Would you buy that? Hey, maybe a Day-Date 40, maybe a Day-Date 40 in 18 karat yellow gold. What would you do? Would you buy that or one Bitcoin? One Bitcoin. The Daytona, let me see if I can get to the Daytona here on this website so I can show you guys what we're talking about. The Daytona is about, I think about 36,000, but you can't buy them for that. You got to pay over. You can't get them. So here we are on the Rolex website, and let's go into the Daytona here, and let's configure this. If we go to configure, and the metal, of course, we want yellow gold. I think, is that yellow gold? Yeah, yellow gold. Okay, so we want that. Select that. And then, yeah, this is the one we want. So this is $36,650. But they go for over 50,000, I'd say. And the green dial one, I was told yesterday's show that they go for like 60,000. So let's refresh Coinbase. It was at 57,000 yesterday. Let's try to refresh this live on the show and see what Bitcoin is at now. Today's show, we'll see where we are. This can load in. And meanwhile, while that's doing that, I'm going to find my show here. I'm going to find the show. And here we are live. Bitcoin is at. Okay, so right now we're at $61,242. $61,242. Probably, you could probably buy a green dial Daytona in mint condition, box and papers, for around that amount. What do you guys think? Let me know what you think about that. One Bitcoin for a Daytona in yellow gold with the desirable green dial for $61,238. Could you pull that off? Let me know what you think about that. Carlos is in the house, and Carlos is, I think he has a small amount of Bitcoin. Of course, I advised him when it was down at about 4,000. I said, hey, just grab one Bitcoin. What the heck? Why not? Hope some of you guys did. Hope some of you guys grabbed one Bitcoin, at least one. Not financial advice on the channel, but I just said that's what I would do. As a matter of fact, I did it live on the show. I bought one for 4,000, just under 4,000 live on the show. Remember that? And then back when I bought this stunner, this 238. Remember when I bought the stunner, the 238? Maybe some of you old timers will remember that I did a show. And somebody said, well, why didn't you buy, you could have bought, Bitcoin was about $10,000 then. They said, you could buy 2.5 Bitcoin for that kind of money. Why didn't you buy Bitcoin instead? And so I went ahead live on the show. I went ahead and did it. I went ahead and bought 2.5 Bitcoin live on the show for just under $10,000 each, $25,000 in Bitcoin. Bought it live on the show. I said, okay, I'll do both. Why don't I do both? And then this guy commented, the comment's still there if one of you guys want to dig through my archives and find that show. There's a comment there because a couple of weeks later, the Bitcoin had dropped to like 5,000. I think it dropped in half. And he said, you demonstrated how to lose half your money. So what's that 2.5 Bitcoin worth now? I didn't sell it. What's that 2.5 Bitcoin worth now? Maybe that idiot is not saying that now. There you go. So G-Town's in the house. Busurf says, is my clock wrong? No, this is an early special emergency broadcast with Carlos in the house. G-Town's in the house. Buser's in the house. Bitcoin doesn't close on the weekends like Wall Street. At what price did Bree get in? Bree's been buying all along. She's been accumulating Bitcoin all along, mainly working for it. She gets paid in Bitcoin. The last Slimer video that she did, she was paid 0.01 Bitcoin for that video. So 0.01 Bitcoin. Maybe somebody can do the calculation and tell us what that's worth as of today. 0.01 Bitcoin for that one. She's been paid for numerous videos, and she's stacking. She's not selling. She's stacking her Bitcoin. So she's been getting in all the way up. At current BTC price, if it would not be impossible to get, I would get an AP Royal Oak white gold salmon dial. Oh, you're the white gold guy. I hear you. No, I think I don't buy ugly watches at any price. So no, I wouldn't buy an AP Royal Oak. Cheetown's in the house. I'll take a 116509 blue dial Daytona and a half a BTC. Thank you very much. What a stunner. Okay, do send a link. Do send a link, Cheetown, if you've got a computer handy where you can send a link. We'll pull it up. Let me play with the buttons here. I'm going to play with my buttons over here, right? Okay, so if I push on, that's the Mid-Atlantic TV logo. That's the SBGY cuff shot. This is the faux pay shot with the faux pay and the 2 gold stunners. Here's another gold stunner shot, another gold stunner shot. And here is the diver, the stunner diver. That's a picture I took when I bought it. And there's the lovely Bree Fit dance. And here's the 005 stunner. There's the money clip with the 18238 and then another 18238. And let me see, I think I got some more here. Here's the red sub. How do you like that? That's the red sub I sold to Paul Falpel. And these pictures were taken at Steve's event. He came to one of Steve's event and wore the watch. The red sub, that's what that is. And there's the faux pays together. There's another 231 macro shot. Another 231 macro shot. And there's Steve with his faux pay and wearing the 002 stunner. Steve wearing the 002 stunner. And there's a fence from Frederick Fence Company, the materials they use to make their fencing. And there's a fence that they installed. How do you like them apples? So there we go. Let's go back to the logos and back to camera 1. How do you like that? How cool is all that? Let's see. Is there a line of Bitcoin billionaires fighting to win Bree's heart? Hopefully. Hopefully. She'd like to land a billionaire. She wouldn't mind. She likes, she likes to be treated nice, right? She likes to be treated nice. Ladies like to be treated nice, and it takes money. Money to treat a lady nice. It just does. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you broke guys out there, but that's just a fact of life. It takes money. We are in a capitalistic society, and it takes money to make the world go round. Kyle's in the house, and he bought Bitcoin back in the day. I think he might have lost all of his in a boating accident, though, but that was unfortunate. I lost all mine as well in a terrible boating accident. And so that happens sometimes to Bitcoiners. And Busurf says, what? Okay. Let's see. Williams restarted the Discord. Do you want to join again? Busurf, okay. You guys got a Discord going on, so you can talk in between shows. It's good that you can. It was 666 just a second ago. Now it's not. That's good because 666 is evil. So 61650. And some of the short-term thinkers, some of the weak hands have been selling. When it hits a milestone like 60,000, there's a wall of sellers. But evidently the wall of buyers was stronger. They pushed past it. They pushed past 60, and then it pulled back a little bit, was under 60, dancing around for a while. Then it's climbed above, and it's been hanging in there for a while, up above 60,000. Now it's at 61,570. It's amazing to watch. I think what we're seeing, we were talking a couple of months ago about incoming supply shortages of Bitcoin. And I think that's what we're seeing. I think what we're seeing is supply shortages. I don't think there's enough supply to meet the demand of these institutional buyers. Some of these institutional buyers literally want to buy billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, and they can't do it. They just can't get enough Bitcoin. Hard to get. And it's not like fiat money where they can print all they want, right? It's hard to get. It's hard money. It's what we call hard money. Hard money. Brianna says she isn't going to sell hers. She says the billionaires can't buy her Bitcoin. It's not for sale. I said, whoa, you mean, Brianna, you wouldn't take any offer for it? She says, no, my Bitcoin's not for sale. Talk about a strong hand. It's amazing. Craig, could you date a woman with more money than you? Oh, my gosh, yes. Oh, yeah. I'd have to. I mean, I have expensive taste too, you know. I mean, I have to be kept in the style that I've become accustomed to, right? So I wouldn't mind a rich woman keeping me. Absolutely. Carlos is in the house. Join early just in case it gets screwed again. Okay. Okay, this is the Discord, I guess. Kyle says early show Tom isn't here. Yeah, we call him Early Tom. I did this specially for Early Tom, right? I've got an Early Tom and a Late Tom. And I told Steve to do some late shows for Late Tom. And he hasn't yet, I don't think, but maybe he will. But this is an early show for Early Tom. And because it's an emergency broadcast, we're dealing with some serious issues today. Let me see here. What do we got here? Oh, okay. Serious issue number one, the faux pay. Faux pay bracelets. My blog post is areaguides.com, areaguides.com/faux pay, FOPE. And this is where I have all the rundown on the stunning faux pay bracelets and what's going on with them. And there's some videos there that I did with some really cool macro shots. And so definitely check that out, areaguides.com/faux pay. And I should add a photo here. I don't have a nice photo of Brianna's faux pay. I should add a real nice photo here of that. I need to do a little update on this blog posting. Let's see. Yes, there is early and late Toms. Yes, there are. I have to create your English there, Kyle. Yes, there are early and late Toms. So, Carlos in the house, if you would get the lottery, okay, he stopped it. Tanzeel's in the house. I like the live streams with the Omega AD a few weeks back, Craig. He should be doing some more shows. That is Steve, Little Treasury. Jewelers, do send an email to him, steve@littletreasury.com, steve@littletreasury.com, and tell him you appreciate the shows, and hopefully he'll do more. He's got, I don't know if you're familiar with Little Treasury, but they've got like 30 different brands, and yes, they're an Omega AD, and I believe Breitling now. He's got a number of cool brands, and of course Grand Seiko, and he's a faux pay dealer. He is a faux pay bracelet dealer. That's where I got this bracelet to go with my 002 stunner. So time check on the channel. It is coming up on 3:40 and about 40 seconds, 3:40 p.m. and right about 40 right there. So we're right on time, folks. Of course, there's a delay on the broadcast, so don't set your watch by that. Watch World. Craig, do you need us to go throw eggs at the Colonial Jewelers store, P-Sir? No, I mean, they're just, God bless them, but they're just a little bit backward. They don't get the whole internet thing. And of course, you know, Rolex stymies them. Rolex restricts significantly what they can and can't do. Of course, Watchbox, you know, they kind of get around that. They're an AD, you know, Govberg Jewelers, they're an AD, and they're all over the internet, and, you know, they do it with different names, and they, you know, clearly they're promoting their business using the internet aggressively. And Colonial Jewelers could have done that. They had a golden opportunity. They could have gotten involved in the live streams. I asked them if they wanted to set up a studio there at Colonial and stream live from there. I think it would have been great. I think you guys would have loved it. They could have showed used watches. I mean, my gosh, how come Watchbox can do all that stuff and they can't? I think they just don't get it. I think they just don't get it. That's how that whole thing works. The internet is a tricky thing to understand. And hey, they can't understand Bitcoin. I mean, they can't understand the internet. They're certainly not going to understand Bitcoin, right? So there you go. Yeah. What do you think will happen with the George Floyd lottery money? Oh, you mean the people got a lot of money in like a lawsuit or something? I mean, they'll probably while it away like most lottery winners do. It'll probably all be gone within a couple of years. Yeah, that's how, when people get a windfall of money like that, they usually don't know how to handle it, and the sharks come around and get all that money. So if people were smart, they would set aside some money in some kind of blind, irrevocable trust or something. They'd put some money aside somewhere that nobody could get to, but that they could live off of the interest or something. If they were smart, they'd probably do something like that, but most of them are not. David's in the house. Hi, Craig and all. Carlos saying hello to David. Craig, can we have you in the Rolex AD in any other state nearby? There aren't really. They're quite a ways. I'll tell you, we talked about Steve possibly getting a Rolex franchise, but I don't think they'll give him one. They should, because he's a superstar. If he got one, I'd probably go and take a look. But I probably wouldn't buy one because, like I say, my 002 is like far superior to any Rolex. I mean, this thing is amazing, amazing. The 002 Stunner. Let's take a quick look at what I'm talking about. That's the 002 Stunner. Absolute stunner. Stunner alert on the channel. Rolex just doesn't make anything that even comes close. To the 002. Unfortunately, they don't. They don't make anything. Nobody does. Nobody makes a finer dress watch than the 002 Stunner. Okay, so there you go. David is saying hi to Kyle. And Kyle said hey to David. So there you go. We got a mutual haze and highs. What else? Well, let's give another plug for Bree. BreeFitDance.com. Even though she didn't pop into the show here. I don't know what she's out actually getting things done. Is that what she's doing today? But BreeFitDance.com. Go to BreeFitDance.com and follow her antics. She got slimed the other day, so you can follow that. I don't know if I have. I don't think I have the sliming. Yeah, here's the sliming pictures. Here's pictures of her being slimed. And the Grand Seiko got slimed big time. And I cleaned it, and let it dry, and then we treated that HD strap, some leather treatment, and that came out great. Never missed a beat. Gonna have to reset the watches, folks, for tomorrow. We gotta let's see, spring forward. I guess we moved the clocks an hour forward, so I'm gonna have to reset the time on the 231 Stunner. It's got some dust on it there. I didn't wipe it off too good when I put it down on the bench just a little while ago. But I'm going to have to reset the time on that. And it's like within a second right now. I mean, that's just insane. It had gotten a few seconds ahead. Then it kind of fixed itself. And now it's like within a second of the actual time. And it hasn't been changed since the daylight savings time thing kicked in. I mean, it's just insanely accurate. That thing's as accurate as a 9F, for gosh sakes. Let's see here. Steve should get Rolex. That would be huge. Yeah, he could be their best dealer. Carlos in the house. I've touched Craig's watch. It's great. Yeah, but did we resize it and put it on your wrist so you could actually? I think we should do that next time. We should actually, because we can adjust the strap here, and we should actually put it on your huge wrist and see how it looks on wrist, Carlos. We got to do that next time. Tanzeel's in the house. Craig, when is the next time you're going to show off your Stetson collection? I can go get one of the Stetsons right now. You want me to go get a Stetson and put it on? Let me know in the chat, guys, if you want me to get a Stetson and put it on. I've only got a few. I've got maybe 3 or 4. I've got one that's a cowboy hat, and then maybe 3 or so, maybe 4 that are not cowboy hat style Stetsons. And then my other cowboy hat is a Resistol. Well, I actually have 2 Stetsons. One's a straw. I don't really count that. That are cowboy hat styles, and then a few that are non-cowboy hat. One of my favorite hats, the black one that I got up in New York, is a fedora style Stetson, and I love that hat. Super comfortable. Just that's my go-to. If I got to grab a hat and go, that's my go-to. Craig's right about the settlement money. If you don't know what to do with money other than spend it, you'll never make money with money. There you go, Jonathan in the house. Let's see. Hello, great to have you here. There are operational constraints that come with Rolex AD activity. Could be problematic with his other brand relationships. Exactly. Yeah, they put way too many restrictions on those people. Absolutely. But hey, you can't argue with success, right? Kyle's in the house. The Rolex that would directly compete with the 002 would be the Cellini, right? If there even is a competitor in the Rolex line. Yeah, it would be. There's some Cellinis that are pretty attractive watches that are yellow gold dress watches that are pretty attractive, but they're not going to have the spring drive. So, and I don't know if they even have the deployant clasp. Most of them I've seen have the normal clasp, so that would be a deal killer for me too. I love the deployant clasp. This one just checks all the boxes. It really does. Let's see. Kyle, I would say day date. It's more dressy side. Yeah. The day date is more like an all-arounder. I wouldn't call a day date a dress watch. It's kind of an all-arounder. It's a great all-around watch. Obviously, you can use it for dress, but it's not really what I would call a pure play dress watch. You guys see the 002 between the Patek 5196 and a day date. Yeah, that might be a good call. I think it's still in the same category as the Patek 5196. I just personally like the spring drive movement and like the fact that this is really a carefree, robust watch. And I think it's stunning. I think it's, I have to tell you, the side view of the case and everything, I think it's more attractive than a 5196. I know that's sacrilege, but that's the way I see it. So nobody says in the chat that they want to see the Stetson, so I won't have to get up and go get the Stetson. Let's see what else I can show. I sent a message to the gentleman with the MCI, and I haven't heard back from him yet. Hide that thing there. So we'll see. We'll see what the status is on the MCI stunner. Walnut interior. And Heaven Bound, there you go. Series 60, pre all the nasty emission stuff that they have on the newer diesel engines. They're really screwing up the diesel engines with all the emissions junk on them. So there you go. Let's see. Kyle Jet says the Patek is nice too. Oh, absolutely. I would get it, though, with the deployant clasp. Carlos doesn't need the deployant clasp because he doesn't wear it that often. But if you're going to wear it on a regular basis, I would definitely get the the deployment class. Derek says, Stetson, please, Craig. I think the 002 is more versatile than the 5196, but the 5196 is more on the pure dress function. I think it's thinner. Yeah, so that would be a plus. Okay, let me go grab the Stetson. I'll grab the cowboy hat Stetson. So this is really what people think of when they think of the Stetson. They think of a cowboy hat, and that's what this is, a classic Stetson cowboy hat. And this one fits nice, stays on in the wind. I think one of the reasons why they curved these up the way they did is, I guess, so that it doesn't hit the rifle and other things, and maybe to shed the wind up over it instead of lifting up on it and blowing it off. Maybe there's something to be said for that. Not sure what all the real reasoning behind the shaping of the brim is, but maybe some folks can chime in and let us know what the deal is with all that. My resistol, I have the brim down so it's more of a flatter style to give more sun protection. So if it's real sunny and I want more sun protection, I wear the resistol. Let's see here. I have cheap kinds of hats like that. Derek in the house. Yeah, I'll tell you that a hat is the type of thing where you can really buy a high quality hat and it can last you your life. I mean, it really can. They last a very long time if you take decent care of them. And if they get kind of beat up, they're like a gold watch, right? If it gets kind of beat up, that's even classier. That's even cooler. So, yeah, a cowboy hat that's kind of beat up a little bit, there's nothing wrong with that, and it'll still wear nice and last. I think you want to rotate them just like shoes because they get sweaty inside and all that, and so you want to give them a couple days to breathe, and you want to clean them out, but they'll last and they'll hold up really for decades if you get a good one. My black Stetson fedora I bought in, I want to say, around 1982 or so in New York, and I've worn that hat a lot, and it still looks like new. I've worn it in pouring down rain. I mean, I've wore it just a lot. So yeah, sent you an email of what has to be the most expensive GS ever. Whoa. Okay, let's take a look. Go back to the 231 while I find this. Second for this to load in. Wow, 185,000, and I have to be honest with you. I mean, again, you can't tell by the photos because they have terrible photos on their website. But to me, the 002 is a better looking watch. I mean, it just is. So yeah, if somebody wants something flashy and just wants to spend money, one of those lottery, right? Millionaires, the money's burning a hole in their pocket, then yeah, go ahead and buy that. Let's see what it says about the exterior here. 43 mil. Wow, it's huge. Thickness of 13.3. If those numbers are correct, that's a total fail. 9R01 caliper. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get why so huge. I mean, oh jeez, folks. Ah boy. Sometimes people just have no taste. No taste. I've seen the Seiko executives, the Grand Seiko executives, wearing suits and wearing some big, bulky sport watch, Grand Seiko. I mean, it just looks ridiculous. They're on their tiny little wrist, right, and they're wearing some huge watch, and they're wearing a suit, right, and it can't go under their cuff, and it just looks ridiculous. They can build some really nice watches. This watch is an example of that. That watch is an example of that. But they also have some total fails. Some total fails. Will you get COVID vaccine when you can? I will do. If it's convenient, like if I go into Costco and I can just like go and they just like do it real quick, and yeah, but I'm not going to go out of my way and try to get on waiting lists and just bearing a lot of time on it. I think it's it's not worth all that. I never worried about the whole thing. I thought it was totally overblown and pretty much a scam on the public. Thank goodness I had Bitcoin as a insurance policy against the tremendous government spending and so forth that is happening and will continue to happen. Thank goodness I had that insurance policy because that helped a lot. Helped a lot because my revenue on my business, Frederick.com, my main revenue source right now, was down. It wasn't down a ton. It wasn't down as much as I thought it would be in 2020, but it was down. But I made enough income, enough interest on my Bitcoin. I have a substantial amount of Bitcoin deposited with BlockFi. And I earn interest on that. And so I made enough interest from the Bitcoin to more than make up for the lost revenue because of the COVID scam. Okay, let's see what else. Carlos says GS is losing it. Yeah, they could have come up with a better design for that one. I mean, they could have, my gosh, why would they make it bigger? I mean, and the bezel looks a little bulbous. I mean, it just doesn't look as classy. Again, some of this might be the drawing that they're using here instead of a photo. I don't know how they do their photos, but it's just that they're just very poor quality photos. I've said many times, Grand Seiko, they can make some great watches. I mean, I love the spring drive in this piece. I mean, it's just amazing. The watch is just amazing all the way around. But as good as they are at making watches, they're pretty clueless when it comes to marketing. It's mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. Steve thinks they're good, right? He thinks they're good at marketing. I'm like, Steve, if it wasn't for the videos that we've done, they'd have no marketing at all. The only reason they have any marketing at all is because of everything that we did back in the day, and we got all the other watch gurus, right, to jump on the bandwagon, and they've all, carried the water, but it's not anything that Grand Seiko did, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. There is a blue option as well for the same price. Okay, so you can get the blue dial. Now, I tell you what Brianna would like. She'd like purple. Her color is purple, so she would like purple. AJ, boring show. Yeah, we need some more. We need some more images sent in. We need some more emails. AJ is boring. It says it's boring. Anton is in the house. Craig, what you think of the Day-Date 40 with black dial? I love it. I love it. That's what Dudley has. We showed one earlier in the show, but then I went to a different page in the Rolex website. But the current one, the current Day-Date 40, yellow gold, with the black dial would be my choice if I was going with a Date 840. Two big thumbs up on that one. What else? And we might have a short show today. This was an emergency broadcast, and I think we got the points across that we need to get across. And let's see, let's check in again on Bitcoin. It's at 61,644. 61,644. So what do you think about that? I sent you an email, very nice watch. Don't like it, but it's very nice. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so I guess it's this watch here that you sent. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, it just looks ugly to me. Why I would want those exposed screws, why I would want that funky bezel, why I would want such a aggressive bezel, why I would want an integrated bracelet. I mean, it's all the things that I wouldn't want. Now, if I went into Walmart or something like that and they had that watch and it was like $50 and, I just wanted to get it to, shoot, I don't even think I'd buy it then. I was going to say, what would I do with it? I wouldn't give it to anybody. I'd be embarrassed, and I certainly wouldn't wear it. So why in the hell would I buy that? I don't get it, folks. I think some folks just don't understand. I think they just don't understand. What do you think, Derek? What do you think? Do you think some people just don't understand? They just don't get it, or what? What is the problem here these days? Carlos is in the house. FMD, do you remember when BTC was at 4K and I thought it will go to zero? I still think it, by the way. Okay. There have been people that have been saying it was going to go to zero for 11 years now. So eventually I'm sure it will go to zero. Maybe 1,000 years from now. The momentum is there, man. The momentum is there. I think it's time to to those who don't get it yet, I think it's time to take the head out of the sand and figure it out. Because it is what it is. The trend is your trend. The trend is your friend until the end. That's old saying, right? The trend is up. The trend is up. So don't fight the trend. Don't fight the trend. The big money's coming in now, folks. Billions of dollars. It takes billions of dollars to move the market this way. Okay, this market is not being moved by retail buyers. Okay, they can't move the market like this. It's billionaires coming in to the market that are moving it. Okay, here you go. So here you go. That's the way to do it. If you want to get an ugly watch, go ahead and go all out and get an ugly watch. Go ahead and go all out and get an ugly watch. I think it's funny. I think it's funny. I mean, I see these guys. I see these guys. They're so proud, right? They post a picture of their latest watch acquisition in the watch groups and so on and so forth. Oh, look what I got. I was in line for a long time, or I had to do this, I had to do that in order to get this watch. And it's some ugly watch, right? It's just some ugly watch. And I'm like, and occasionally I'll just go in and I'll tell them, I'll say, man, that was just a real mistake, right? And I don't do it that often, but sometimes I'll just give them a reality check that a lot of these watches that these people are just FOMOing over, just absolute FOMOing over, are just ugly watches. And I mean, would you actually really wear something like that? I don't know, folks. I don't know anymore. Time check. All right, I think we're gonna wrap this puppy up. As the gentleman said, this is a boring show. We don't really have anything to talk about. Let me show off the buttons one more time, though. Here, my cool buttons. Okay, let me let me show off my buttons here a little bit. This is the little Treasury logo I just put up in the right corner. See that? This is the Mid-Atlantic TV logo. This is the cuff shot. This is the 002 again. Another one with the 002. Another one with the 002. Here's the 231 stunner and the lovely Brianna. And here's the 005, the SBGN 005. Here's the money clip. And here's another one of the 18238. And here's the red sub again, the faux pay, the 231 stunner, another 231, Steve with a faux pay and the 002. And so we'll go back to the logos and back to camera one. How do you like that little run through? Let's see. I sent a follow-up to Carlos's email. Craig loves to stir the pot on Facebook. Occasionally I'll put a little something in there, but I mean, here's the thing. Whatever I put in there, they can't challenge it because the only time I'll put something in there is if it's correct. Everything I put in is correct. All right, let's check here. Oh, Kyle sent the fake AP. We saw that. Okay, so we're caught up. We're caught up on the emails. I came in just to stop by, and I see Cowboy Craig, Triforce Rich in the house. Yeah, it was by request. By request, they asked me to go get the Stetson, and I grabbed the cowboy-style Stetson, because that's what people think of when they think of a Stetson. Let's see. Kyle says, hey, Eduardo. Hey, Carlos, hope you're well. Eduardo, great to see you. Did you end up selling the 231 Triforce Rich? No. It's right here on the bench. It's a little dusty there. That's dust on the crystal. It's not on the dial. I mean, it's on the setting on there. I didn't wipe it off good enough. And the time is amazing. It's like within a second. I'm going to have to change the time, of course, because daylight savings time. I guess it's over with. Is that it? Is this daylight savings time now and we're going to non-daylight savings time? I keep getting confused. Let's see. I hope you are fine. I miss your provocative comments. I walked out to take a call, come back, and it's Stetson hat hour, a Cheetown in the house. Can't go now. Rich and Eduardo just got here. LOL. Well, somebody's got to send some more watches for us to look at. Somebody's got to send some more emails. Somebody's got to play the role of Lance, right? We need an extra time. Hope you're well, Rich. Craig, this isn't over. We are here. Craig, was that a scratch on the bezel of the 231? No. Well, I don't know. That might be dirt on it. I think there might be one small scratch, but I think that's dirt that you're seeing there. I don't think it's scratched. I'd have to wipe it off to make sure, but no, I think it's okay. But hey, it does get a lot of extreme use. It does get a lot of extreme use. Let's see, what else? Craig, sending you a link to the Daytona I like. Okay, cool. Good. We just got a puppy. He's asleep right now. Hope you're good. Oh, cool. Do send a photo of the puppy. That might get our ratings up if we can show a picture of the puppy. A puppy picture. Okay, let's get the 231 with the scratched bezel back on the screen. I'm trying to get this to load in. It's not loading in the photo, the latest photo. I got to refresh here and see what we can find out. It hasn't come in yet. The email has not come in yet. Don't know why. I'll monitor. I'll keep an eye on it. And if it comes in, we'll switch to it. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Stand by. Stand by. Let me pull it up here and then I'll show you. Whoa. Whoa. You know, I'm not a Daytona fan, but that is kind of cool. I do like that dial. That is kind of cool. But again, I'm just not a Daytona fan. I'd much rather have a Date 840 than the Daytona. Okay, what else do we got going on here? What else do we have going on? Eduardo, current collection. Okay. Eduardo, current collection. He's got a nice mix there. He's got an elegant all-arounder. He's got a heavy use abuse watch and another heavy use abuse watch. Absolutely. Why not? I say, why not? Derek says, Craig, we can't leave Triforce Rich is calling in with his cats and dogs. Be careful not being killed by your puppy. Okay. Craig, Daytona or new Speedmaster? I wouldn't want either. I'm not a big chronograph guy. I don't see the point. But I guess it'd be a coin toss because I really wouldn't want either. Cheetown's in the house. That blue dial Daytona to me is hotter than any blue dial Royal Oak. Well, yeah, I would certainly take the Daytona over one of those. Absolutely, Cheetown. But then again, I'd take anything over one of those probably. Triforce Rich is in the house. I'll get a pic of him later. My wife had his photos. Okay, appreciate it. Craig and Carlos. Nice three-piece meal deal. Hunger buster, Eduardo. Keep it minimal, but well thought out. Yeah, I say so. I'd say so. That's a good move. Let me think what else. I think we can call it a day. I really do. I think we've covered some ground. What do you guys say, though? I mean, there's a lot of people that I know that bought some Bitcoin back in the day that they've been selling here lately. They've been selling lately. And I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, Carlos thinks it's going to zero pretty quick. Of course, he didn't give us a timeline on that. To be honest, he did not give us a timeline. But what do you guys think? I mean, would you take some profits at $61,000? Would you have a weak hand? Would you let your Bitcoin slip away, your precious Bitcoin? Would you sell? What do you think? That was kind of the topic of this show. Would you sell your Bitcoin and buy yourself a gold, an 18-karat yellow gold Rolex stunner? Would you do that? Let me know in the chat. Let's take a quick little poll here. Sell or not sell? Put in the chat yes if you would sell and no if you would not sell your precious Bitcoin. Right now. Right now, we're at all-time highs. People say it's not. I don't use the term all-time highs. I use the term record high. We're at a record high because clearly we're not at an all-time high because it's going higher. If we were at the all-time high, that would mean it's going down from here, that we've peaked, right? And that, like Carlos said, we're going to zero. But I don't think we're going to zero yet. I think we're going to keep going higher. Higher. All the signs say that there's a supply shortage, folks. A supply shortage. So there you go. Craig, we know you'd still buy the Daytona even if you don't keep it. I'd buy one to flip. Yeah, I would. Steve is selling Royal Oaks. Or no, I don't think he's selling Royal Oaks. I don't think so. Carlos, I hope you do not have a kind of common harmless puppy. Hope you have something really dangerous. Yeah, because we might be going into some wild times where you might need a dangerous animal to help with security. He's like Megan's dog, a Westie. Okay. If BTC crashes to zero, I'll take 20 of them. Yeah. I think a lot of people would be buying if it went down to zero. I think there's a lot of people that would not let it get down that low, to tell you the truth. Anton says sell. Eduardo says no sell. Anton says gold Rolex is everything. Derek says yes, Anton. So in other words, sell. He's saying Derek says yes, he would sell. I think he would have sold at 20,000 though. I think he's got very weak hands. I think he would have sold, a long time ago. Triforce Rich, I want BTC to crash so Craig buys it all, and then people realize Craig is a living deity, and he was right. BTC shoots up in value, and Craig rules the world. Hey, that's the thing on crypto Twitter. You see all these no-coiners like cheering on Bitcoin going higher and higher and higher and all this stuff. And I'm like, they don't even own like one whole Bitcoin, right? And I replied to one of them. I said, why on earth would you want the price to go higher if you're still buying? If you're still, a buyer of Bitcoin, you should want the price as low as possible. And they couldn't really answer. I mean, I don't understand these people cheering on the price when they don't already have a decent stash, right? If you don't have a decent stash, you should want the price lower so you can buy more. It's like these same thing with these people buying these ugly watches. I just don't get the thought processes. Maybe somebody can explain it to me, and so that I could understand, because I don't understand. Let's see. I was expecting something more dangerous while I heard those can be trained to attack the balls on a really painful way. Carlos, come on now. Derek's in the house. I want Craig to get one more, and he promised he would do it. Get one more what? Eduardo's in the house. Anton, you can buy a beautiful day-date for 15 USD now. The prices have come back down. Oh, really? The day-date prices have come back down? Interesting. Triforce Rich, yes, he's a little hunting dog. He will be trained to bite Spanish cones. Derek in the house, I can't sell the bits I have because I don't know how to operate my account. My daughter has all my passcodes. Uh-oh. That's good if your daughter is keeping it secure and keeping it away from you, because otherwise you'll sell and you'll regret it later. By the way, we had a Carnan Terrier, and that was kind of killer Westie. Okay. Perhaps there are other things going alongside BTC. What do you mean? Other things that are pumping as much as BTC? I don't know about that. I don't know. No asset has outperformed BTC in the last 10 years. It's like the best. It's the fastest horse. Triforce Rich is in the house. He's laughing out loud. Derek is all over the place, and he says, but when I wait longer, it will be worth more money later, and I will sell my farm. There you go. Eduardo in the house, the 18238 prices were surpassing 15K in the fall, but are now back to the 12 to 14K depending on condition, etc. Okay, so Eduardo, can you get a really stand-up, solid, no-stretch 18238 for 14K? Is that doable? Let us know in the chat, because that would be a good watch to get for somebody. Carlos is in the house. Spanish cajones will blow up his teeth out of his mouth. Craig, would you trade a BTC for a Rainbow Daytona? How much do Rainbow Daytonas go for? I don't know how much they go for. I'd have to know more information. But here's the thing. I mean, at the rate BTC is pumping here, I think it would be kind of ridiculous to sell one right now. I don't know. It just looks like there's a lot of momentum there. Now, I could be wrong. Next week it could be $30,000, right? It could be half what it is now. But the momentum is the momentum. It's doing what it's doing. So I don't know that I think this thing is going to run up and down. There'll be some pullbacks, but I think it's going to run the rest of this year. I think we've got some running room left in this pump, in this cycle, if you will. I'd say so, Craig. Could look for one call to tell you what I find next show. Okay, cool. Cool. Yeah, let us know. I think they go for 300K, but might be more these days. Triforce Rich. Well, if we wait long enough, one Bitcoin will probably buy one. Yeah. Cheetown in the house. True rainbow Daytonas go for a 300K gray market. Eduardo, I'll email you, Kyle. I find something worth looking at. Hope BTC doubles. Anton in the house. Doubles from here? Wow. In what time frame, Anton? Derek says, Rainbow Daytona would make me throw up. I'd rather take a vaccine than buy that one. Derek in the house. I hear you. Kyle's in the house. Thanks, Eduardo. All right, we're going to wrap it up. We had a very productive show. Very productive show, I say. And do email Steve at littletreasury.com, Steve at littletreasury.com, and light a fire under him. Tell him we need more shows. We need more shows from the Omega AD. The Omega AD.